Hey, welcome back to another episode of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews, joined by Mississippi Madman Logan Creed, and again we're back to talk a little wrestling. So I think the Madman has a robot in his pocket or something that keeps making noise.
Yeah, stupid cell phone.
But hopefully we're going to bring an interesting episode, talk a little bit about Evolution, the women's pay-per-view, not the stable. And
I know 4 matches, so that's what I can tell you.
So a little bit. Also going to talk about MLW and the recent television taping, or at least a television episode, and then maybe see what the Madman remembers about Florida Championship Wrestling, the developmental territory, not the territory. So what matches did you check on the Evolution pay-per-view?
Well, since we were at training, I got home and really there wasn't but like 2 matches left. So I watched Becky versus Charlotte in the last woman standing match, and for everything that I saw, that was the match of the night.
Yeah.
And they were taking some brutal stuff.
Really?
Yeah. She gave her a leg drop off a ladder through one of the announce tables.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was Becky to Charlotte. Charlotte hit a swanton off the top through the table on Becky because it didn't break the first time from the moonsault.
Yeah.
And then the finish was a power bomb off the second rope to the floor through a table.
Dang.
So yeah, they were killing each other.
Yeah, sounds like it. So if you had to rate it, what would you rate it?
What?
If you had to rate the match, what would you rate it?
I'd rate it watch it. How
No.
about that? I don't do a 10-star, 9, 20,000 star, whatever crap it is. Watch it. It was good.
Yeah.
You know.
Alright, what else you see?
Bella versus Ronda. Wish I'd never seen it, because watching Ronda's like watching Ronda, and watching Nikki try to wrestle her is like watching Nikki try to wrestle her. It just wasn't good. And evidently, if your name isn't, I don't know who, because you don't get heat on Ronda Rousey unless you're attacked from behind.
Right.
She's kind of like Goldberg. You had to, miss a move. And
Well, they're protecting
hit the
their
corner.
investment.
They're not protecting my eyes from watching a shit match. So, even though she was one of the longest reigning women's champion ever, she got 0 heat pretty much without her sister, who usually botches everything, attacking her from behind.
Well, was it at least like a good story told with the match?
No,
No.
it was terrible. I mean, the sisters kept doing twin magic crap, but gee, the one that has an A cup and the one that has a D cup. Gee, I wonder which one's in there.
Well, you lay down face first.
No, that's not how it works.
No.
But then Bree took a real crappy bump over the table and landed on one of them big, now they have the big cushiony chairs, Yeah, it was horrible. There was nothing good I can say about this match.
I got you.
My
Who won?
favorite part was when it was over with.
Who won?
Who do you think?
Ronda.
There you go.
Oh, gotcha.
Surprise.
All right.
And
so,
honestly, I did go into this thing and I said, I'm gonna have an open mind. I'm gonna watch it for what it is, because I don't like a lot of WWE's women's wrestlers.
Right.
A lot of them are bad. I just don't care for them. But it was what it was.
yeah.
And I thought it was a terrible match.
Well, did you see anything else from that show, or that?
Yeah. I went and watched the pre-show where I was. I found it pretty easy. But the first match, the opener, was surprised the hell out of me. But Trish Stratus and Lita versus Alexa Bliss come out as a manager. She evidently got injured, and she managed Fox and Mickey James.
That was a good match.
It was good, and the weakest link is Fox. She was
Right.
not that good of a wrestler, but they hit her.
Yeah.
And I mean, they hit her well. You would have thought she was like a great wrestler after watching this match, because it's the best match. Then I watched the Battle Royal, and I can give you all the names you want.
Yeah. Throw them out there.
Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville, Alondra Blaze, Carmella, Zelina Vega, Kelly, Tamina, Ember Moon, Lana, Maria, Mandy Rose, Molly Holly, Dana Brooks, Nia Jax, Ivory, Asuka, Tori Wilson, and the Iconics.
So it was a pretty good mix of, older, present, and newer. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Who won that?
Who do you think?
Ivory.
I really wanted Ivory or Alondra Blaze to win it. Honest to God, one of them two. But no, it was
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax, of
Yeah,
course.
makes sense. Makes sense for
now
sure.
they get to tell the story of her beating the monster again.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, if you don't tell it right the first time, try again. So.
The last time, Alexa Bliss come out and hit her with a suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
as far as about a Royal Rumble, I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
thought it was decent. It wasn't great, but it was decent.
so from the little bit that you saw, you think WWE did good with their first all women's pay-per-view? No, really?
No, I thought they buried a lot of people. Asuka should have been in there with Ronda. 90% of the people in the world know that Asuka should have been in there with Ronda.
I got you.
But they buried Asuka in the Battle Royal, and she lost in the Battle Royal really badly.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Well, everybody can't be winners.
I understand, but, this chick was main event, and now she's lost in the Battle Royal.
Right. I got you.
I mean, she wasn't even in a singles match. She didn't even come down to the last two. So,
Well, the cool thing with WWE though is they can bury you, and then make you all over again. So, yeah, Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot of guys that all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're back to being good, or we're the best again, or whatever.
You were Sparky Plug, but now you're hardcore for some reason.
Right. So I mean, the only thing is you got to hope that they don't get rid of you before they decide to remake you. Which you said Alicia Fox, which was funny to me because I watched some FCW from 2008, and she was there at 2008. So that's 10 years.
She's been there forever.
She's been employed by WWE. That's crazy.
But I was thinking, I'm like, even why didn't they take Asuka and put her where Fox was? That would have made an awesome fucking tag match. There's no way it couldn't have been.
Maybe because they don't think she's the hot chick.
What hot chick?
I mean, I'm just assuming that what Alicia Fox is supposed to be.
She's supposed to be hot?
I think so.
Oh hell, I didn't know that. My bad.
I mean, I don't watch it enough to be able to.
I didn't think she was that hot.
But I assumed that's who she was supposed to be.
Well,
so that's normally what all their females are. So.
Oh shit! Tell me something I didn't know there. She's one of the few that haven't had augmentations in certain body parts. If you know what I mean.
The knees.
Sure, yeah, sure, knees.
Got those knee lifts.
Yeah, knee lifts.
So
I mean, she did decent, honestly.
Yeah.
She didn't screw nothing up. Everything looked good.
Right.
I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of it. I just hadn't had time.
Yeah,
honestly.
I get it.
And,
I get it.
There was like 4 other matches.
Yeah.
So I know Stardust was wanting to check it out for sure. He
Right.
said, but I think he's supposed to put out something about his opinion or what he thought of it. So.
Yeah, check out Cultaholics. He's supposed to be on there with his review of the Women's Evolution pay-per-view.
I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, me too. Got to the point where I'm that fan where I like to listen to what other people think about it.
I like
If they put it
opinions,
over, then I'll
honestly.
go back and watch
Some
it.
people may love the Ronda match.
Right.
I absolutely hated it. I'd tear it apart into both of them, honestly. It's hard.
So
And I know they didn't book it because you got somebody in the back telling you you're going to duck this, you're going to duck that, you're going to hit this. Well, you're not going to get shit until Nikki hits her from behind.
Right.
Because we got to save her because you don't know what the shit she's doing in the ring.
Well,
When
hopefully.
you're doing a Samoan drop, yet you're trying to say it's not a Samoan drop.
What is it?
I don't know, some kind of judo shit. But it's a Samoan drop, by the way. But
Well,
she turns a little with it when she does it, so it's not a Samoan drop.
Well, I mean, is that where the
that
Samoan
matters?
drop came from?
From Samoa?
Which came first? The judo throw or the Samoan drop?
Fuck, I know. I've been calling it a Samoan drop since I was a kid.
That don't mean it's right.
Don't mean it's wrong neither.
So
Peanut butter is peanut butter.
Yeah, I got
It's
you.
not butter peanut.
yeah, butternuts. That's a squash. So I watched MLW, and I keep telling you, if you're not watching MLW, man, y'all are missing out. It's one of it's one of those best kept secrets that shouldn't be a kept secret.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out, man. Like the latest episode, we got to see. This is gonna be crazy. L.A. Park, the original Aparca, versus PCO, Pierre Carl Ouellette, who was a Quebecer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mr. X.
Yeah. And man, do these guys go at it. Like,
He's beating the hell out of each other.
dude. Like, PCO's gimmick is he's not human.
You seen him? He's jacked.
And he does like these torture tests for fun during like Fan Fest, like come staple stuff to his chest and
nipple twist.
Yeah, like all kinds of stuff. And then PCO is La Parka or LA Park is the face of death or whatever. So like, dude, they dives to the floor like. Sweet. Like PCO did a swanton to the outside edge of the ring, and then La Parka did a crossbody off the top to the floor onto him. I'm like, you think for like some 60-year-old dudes they'd calm down? Nah, bro. Like, they are bringing it, man.
I'll show you how to do it.
And that match happened. There was another match, and man, for the life of me, I don't remember what it was. The opening contest. Yeah, I should have wrote it down, but it was a good match. And like I said, I wish I would have remembered. But then the main event was because they only do like 3 or 4 matches.
I watch your YouTube stuff sometimes.
The main event was spin the wheel, make the deal match between Sami Callihan and Jimmy Havoc, England's most dangerous man or whatever. And so Jimmy won the coin toss. He gets to spin the wheel. He spins the wheel. It's going around, and the wheel lands on Spinner's choice. So he goes, I could pick this match, and I could pick that match, and I could pick this match. I'll tell you what, MLW, bring it all. So they had a body bag, dog collar, Prince of Darkness, like street fight, coal miner's glove, like it was all there. Staple guns, like death match, like he's like, bring it all. Like, we're gonna use every bit of it. That's my choice. And it was really good. It was short. It was only maybe 10 minutes long. Maybe 12 minutes, something like that.
90 weapons to hit each other with.
But the coolest thing they used was an autographed picture of Joey Ryan. That was the coolest thing.
Must have been a hard picture.
Jimmy, his thing is like, he's out of his mind or whatever. So he was using it to paper cut Sami between his fingers.
I've seen people do that.
Sammy's shoe came untied, his boot came untied, so the crowd was chanting like, tie your boots. So of course Sami takes off, throws at the freaking people, and then he had heart socks on, so they were chanting, you've got heart socks. So of course he takes them off too. But then so Jimmy was cutting in between the toes and stuff. So he went under the ring, come back with a lemon, took a chunk out of the lemon, squeezed it on the cut. He cut him across the mouth with the and then squeezed it on his mouth. What does the crowd do? Get the salt, get the salt. So he's like, I got no salt. It's like somebody goes to the back, like they're at a bar or something, goes and gets a salt shaker, brings it back to him, like somebody from the crowd. And so he gets it, he cuts Sami between the toe, and then pours the salt in it. And then the crowd's like, you sick, Yeah. So you sick quacker. But dude, the match was phenomenal. Like the guys worked their butts off, and they did some crazy stuff. Like they used a staple gun a little bit and stuff, but they really showed like you don't have to go out there and just hit each other in the head a bunch of times. Like you can do this and make it super entertaining. Because I mean, again, the biggest gimmick they used was a freaking Joey Ryan 8x10. But it made sense. It fit his character, it fit the gimmick, it fit everything. So I really dug it. And so Sami puts him in a body bag and zips it up, and he turns like, yeah, and thinking he won or whatever. Jimmy sets up in the body bag like the Undertaker.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then so Sami picks him up and power drives him in the body bag.
Nice.
So it was super crazy. But
was
man,
that the finish?
Yeah, that was the finish. So, and like I say,
nowadays people kick out of power drive.
Yeah, but like it was. I'm not gonna say it was the biggest move, but it was the biggest move. It felt the biggest. They may have done some other things that were really cool, and you would have been appreciative of it because they had set up a chair outside, and Sami was in the chair, and Jimmy runs all the way around the ring to give the kick or whatever. He goes, "Rah!" And Sami ducks. He stops. When he raises up, he pokes him in the eye.
That's the easiest move in the world.
And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, Madman would love that. But it really, like MLW is really a throwback. And they've got Matt Stryker and Tony Schiavone calling the action. So you get a taste of this modern age versus this, what we grew up on. And they do a really good job, and it's high quality.
Is that their last YouTube show?
Yeah, it came out just a couple days ago.
That's a good show.
And I think it came out Monday. I think it's supposed to come out Sunday night, but it came out Monday morning. because some people in the comment section were complaining, you waited till Monday to put it out. I'm like, it was 4 hours.
Well, sometimes with YouTube, you don't know what the hell they're going to let you put up.
Well,
bro.
I mean, you know, technically, it's 1 second between Sunday and Monday, you know.
Well, I get it, but sometimes YouTube don't want to let you put stuff up.
So, like, I think it can't, like, I watched it, like, early Monday morning. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it had to come out, you know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning or something. But, it's really good. You should check it out. All the past episodes are really good. Again, you know, one of Mississippi's own is going to be on there, Marco Stunt. I think they've already had the match, but it just hadn't made TV yet because they only do, like, you know, 3 or 4 matches per thing.
Did
per
Marco
TV.
Stunt and Fury do like a video segment together or something?
Yeah,
I saw like a clip.
Yeah, I think
my
Fury
phone was screwed up and I couldn't hear
I
it.
think Fury's cutting the promo or something, and Marco like just like giggles behind him and runs off or whatever. So
Okay.
super silly, but it's definitely Mr. Fun Size. You know, there's a reason he's only a bite of a Snicker and not a whole bar. So
At least he wasn't taking a devastating move and dying.
yeah, well, he did that the match before that.
That's probably why he's giggling.
Yeah,
Shit,
he got knocked silly. So,
no brains left.
right, but he's got, you know, big time matches, man, and it's cool. Like him and the Ace Romero, they did the gimmicky where, you know, he got pounced over the top rope, and then he gave Ace Romero, you know, the power bomb or whatever off the top rope.
What the hell he powerbombed?
Well, he did
him?
the sunset power bomb. But it's cool because they're now booked on TV with that match. I mean, at least it didn't go to nowhere. At least you got some exposure out of it. So kudos to Marcos, man.
Several dislocated bones.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what happens when you do Oklahoma rolls wrong. So shout out to one of our students. So
you know,
yeah,
you'll learn.
yeah. But I mean, I really enjoy the MLW. But Florida Championship Wrestling, man, I stumbled upon that just, I don't even remember how. And somebody uploaded or whatever. And so I watched episode 1. It was really good. And like just seeing, you know, Wade Barrett before he was Wade Barrett and Sheamus before he was Sheamus. And, you know, all these guys from that are, you know, really there, or, you know, the last few years were really big. Just seeing them kind of at the beginning of their WWE career. I really dug it, man. Like, and it's good wrestling. Like, and it just blows my mind, like how WWE just never really got behind their developmental. Because OVW, I'm a fan of OVW TV when they were, you know, still am. I watch it now sometimes, but you know, they had a high quality product. That's what people are like. Holy crap! Like, you mean like it all existed before NXT? And I'm like, yeah. Which of course, you know, you're talking about people that wasn't born in 2008. You know,
I realize Paul Heyman used to book it.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette used to book it.
Well, this
and
had
not John Davis, wrong one.
Yeah, like this one was like Dusty and like Dusty's there kind of running Steve Kern, but like Dusty's doing commentary and he was doing it with Todd Grisham. Is that right?
Really?
Yeah. For a while, like the first few episodes, and then this last episode, it was him and Josh Matthews, and him and Josh Matthews make a really good commentary team.
I always like to hear Dusty commentary.
Yeah.
You know what the hell is going to in his mouth.
Not a bit. And his biggest saying, and I've watched 4 or 5 episodes, and his biggest saying is, if you want to be the big star, it's a long, hard road, like the old Hank Williams song or whatever.
It's true, though.
But he says it in every episode. So, but like the last episode I just watched, it was Stu. What was Wade Barrett's name? Stu something. I don't remember what it was.
I just remember it was Wade Barrett. I didn't know he had another name.
Yeah, it was like Stu Sanders or something like that.
Oh, no wonder
and
they
he and
changed
Drew McIntyre are tagging as the Empire. And I'm like, why did y'all not do this? Like, holy crap, it's really
see
good.
any money in it there, buddy.
Yeah, I saw it. Like,
a lot of people see money and stuff, and Vince
Yeah.
don't see it.
and it's cool because like they like D.H. Smith and T.J. Wilson they just started tagging there with Natalia. And it's funny because like Dusty's getting their names mixed up. Him and Josh Matthews is like DJ and HT, and like because it's just initials, so they're really like getting it mixed up. So
Now,
like,
were they getting it mixed up or were they screwing around?
no, they were getting mixed
okay.
up. But it was just funny, and just to see Fandango when he was like kicking ass, and and one of the guys I'd forgot about was Mike Cruel. Like, I used to follow him for a while, and he is so good, man. Like, if you don't know who Mike Cruel is, and it's Cruel with a K, Go look him up and watch some of his
I know.
stuff. The dude is super good.
It makes you wonder where half these people have gone.
Yeah. And like I say, I told you earlier, the biggest thing that I really hated about it was I had only watched 6 episodes, and like some guys had already had 3 or 4 name changes. Like and it wasn't no explanation. It wasn't like, oh, we changed your gear, or oh, I had a match where the stipulation was you can't use your name. Like, it's literally like Tyler Rex, like he came out as like Gabe Tough, and he was a surfer. And then the next episode, he was Tyler Rex. And like the name change must have just happened because Dusty and Josh were getting it. That he was Taylor Rex and then Tyler Rex, and then he'd be Tyler Rex and then Taylor Rex. Like they couldn't remember what his name was. They knew it was close, but
one of them T words.
Yeah.
I'd stuck with Rex.
Yeah, and like Heath Slater, he started out as Heath Miller, and then the next episode he was like Sebastian Miller, and then the next episode he was Sebastian Slater. And I was like, man, at least give some explanation, like have him come out and cut a promo. I'm not going to be this guy or whatever, like don't just go, oh, well, that's the same guy, but yeah, you remembered his name wrong. That's what happened. Like Dolph Ziggler literally went from Nick Nemeth to Dolph Ziggler with no explanation.
No.
And it just blew my mind. And their explanation was, oh, he's been on Monday Night Raw introducing himself to people as that. Like, it was like the first week.
When he was doing the handshake.
Yeah. So, like, they just, like, we don't know what's going on, but, like, it was just like, oh, well, that's who he is now. And the commentator's like, oh, he's been Dolph Ziggler all along. Like,
I remember King going, as you hadn't heard, he's Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. So, but it's crazy, how good FCW was, and, like, nobody, like, it's almost like it never happened, So, check that out. If you're just, surfing YouTube, find some Florida Championship Wrestling. It's from back in 2008. And man, it's phenomenal, So,
are you finding that on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah. And, that's it. I mean, we got the Great Southern 8 coming up. That happens this Saturday, November the 3rd. Not at the Hideaway anymore. It's at the old Pearl High School gym off Old Brandon Road. There's a lot of olds in there, so shouldn't be too hard to find. But same great action, different venue.
Right behind the Pearl Library.
Yeah, right behind the Pearl Library and City Hall, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And right in the middle of town, so, no problem getting to it. Plenty of seating. So, hopefully this is a,
positive, not a negative.
Right. The crowd, we got a lot of response from the crowd, so hopefully that's going to be a big deal to have more seating for them.
And you'll have stage seating.
Yeah. And so, looking forward to it, man. Who's your prediction? Like, if I put a gun to your head, pick who's winning. Pick who's winning.
I'm gonna break your shit. West Warren's team.
Okay. I predict Stardust is going to pay off whoever wins the Great Southern 8 and buy the trophy.
Now, as far as Southern 8 goes, I'll pick Steve Anthony.
Okay. That's a very, very strong choice. I'm a big proponent of underdogs, and I think the biggest underdog is Cabana Man Dan.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guy.
Flip-flop
chop his way all the way to the GS8. If you don't know who Cabana Man Dan is, you owe it to yourself to watch him flip-flop chop people, just because, why not?
His promo was actually really good going to Southern 8. I really liked it.
Yeah, really good. And he's going to bring the trophy back to Alabama, he said. And I believe him. I mean... with
a banjo on his name?
Yeah. There's been a lot of guys that people didn't realize they were going to, that guy's not going to win or whatever. And they were wrong, So definitely looking forward to that.
I just followed Steve Anthony longer than I have anybody else, so I'd pick him.
I mean, that's probably the match I'm looking forward to the most.
Cabana Man Dan and Steve Anthony?
No, Dax Anthony versus Steve Anthony. Battle of the Anthonys.
Well, we weren't talking about Dax, so we were talking about Cabana Man.
Right, but he's in the first round. Steve's got to get past Dax first. Cabana Man Dan has to get past Josie Quinn. So not going to be a easy night for him, for sure.
Get to slap him on them.
What if it came down to Cabana Man Dan versus Steve Anthony in the finals? Master of the 450. Master of the 450 versus the flip-flop chop. I'm going to say Steve goes up for the 450, and Cabana Man Dan like boomerangs one of the flip flops and hits him in the throat. And as he's falling down, he slaps him in the face with the other flip flop
And beats him.
him.
Yeah, that's a foreign object, technically.
I mean,
So he'd be DQ'd.
technically it doesn't count because it's part of it. It's like giving somebody the big boot. I mean, he wears it to the ring. So technically, is that a foreign object? I mean,
Supposed to be wearing.
how is getting hit with a flip flop any different than getting super kicked? I mean, just because he takes it off his foot and slaps you with it.
I don't know. We used to hit people in the head with boots when I was tag team, so you know.
There you
But
go.
I freely admit it was cheap.
There you go, guys. Great Southern 8, November 3rd, Old Pearl High School Gym. Find out if Cabana Man Dan cheats when he hits someone with a flip flop, because we guarantee flip flop chops will be happening. Later, guys. Hello, it broke. Really won't stop. Stop.
Several times over.
Technical difficulties.